Coming up in SVG-TV News and Sports this evening at 7, Prime Minister Friday calls for stronger partnerships to advance national priorities and build resilience at Development Partner Roundtable. Economists warn global crises leave small Caribbean islands dangerously exposed. China's president visits North Korea on rare state visit to boost ties with Kim Jong-un. And in sports, Wimbayama Stars at Spurs Trim Knicks finals lead with a 115-111 win in the NBA last night at Madison Square Garden. These and other stories coming up in SVGTV News and Sports this evening at 7. Good evening and welcome to SVG-TV News and Sports for Tuesday, June 9th, 2026. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. The United Nations Resident Coordinator for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, Simone Sprigeret, says the UN is ready to support programs and projects that are aligned with the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines' priorities. This as bilateral and multilateral development partners participated in a UN Government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines Development Partners Roundtable held here today. Discussions focus on ongoing programs as well as areas requiring further strengthening. The UN resident coordinator said the organization is focusing on areas that aligned with its work program and national development priorities.
What we would like to explore collectively is how we can best align our support around those important government priorities. Moving together from isolated projects towards more connected systems, shifting our shared focus from response towards prevention, and deepening real alignment, not just coordination, so that our collective efforts add up to something greater than the sum of their parts. We know that fragmentation remains a real challenge, not a reflection of anyone's intentions, but a natural consequence of the many actors and many priorities at play.
Springett also highlighted 3 key areas for partnership: addressing climate risk, managing economic shocks, and tackling crime and violence.
We would welcome the chance to think through with the government how we can better support a multi-risk approach, one that looks at climate, economic vulnerability, and social pressures together rather than in isolation. Second, financing. Beyond the question of volumes, there is an important conversation to be had about how resources are most effectively deployed, blended approaches, catalytic investments, and ensuring that financing is clearly linked to strategic national outcomes. Third, coherence. We are committed to working more deliberately with the government and to identify where our efforts overlap or leave gaps, and building joint approaches where they generally add value. We also want to acknowledge something the government has rightly emphasized: the importance of addressing crime, violence, and insecurity as part of a broader development agenda. These issues are not separate from the goals we share, they are central to them. And a prevention-focused approach, particularly for young people, is one where we believe collaboration can make a real difference.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dr. Godwin Friday welcomed the roundtable meeting, which is the first of its kind under the new administration, and was held under the theme From Recovery to Transformation and Resilience. Prime Minister Friday said that given the country's economic challenges following a series of disasters over the past 5 years, the roundtable provided an important opportunity to address pressing social and economic issues and explore ways of strengthening support from international development partners.
Community level and to the level of youth and women and vulnerable people of this particular geographic and political space that we call St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It is a real opportunity for us to be heard and to be seen, and we intend to make the most of it. Today, will be mostly for talking. And tomorrow, you will see some of the projects that we are undertaking to try to make a difference, the difference that we seek. That you have taken the time and the effort to zoom in on us, on our particular problems, needs, and possibilities, exemplifies the essence of partnership and the qualities of caring. It encourages me to know that you are willing and that you are able to lend a helping hand as together we put forward plans and programs to take our country forward.
The Prime Minister highlighted high utility costs, particularly those linked to imported diesel, as a major burden on citizens. He also pointed to unemployment as a key challenge facing the country.
By replacing aging generators with solar power and battery storage, we can lower the cost of living and shield our country from volatile global energy shocks. We remain fiercely committed to our national energy strategy, which targets a 60% renewable energy share by 2030. I know it's ambitious, but you gotta think big. Number two, bridging the skills mismatch for youth and women. True economic growth must be inclusive. While large-scale construction activity remains a primary driver of our recovery, our local workforce, particularly our young women and young men, frequently faces systemic employment gaps.
Another area in which the government is seeking support is the development of a comprehensive and modern fiscal responsibility framework aimed at strengthening economic management and long-term resilience.
The third area that we need to focus on is upholding fiscal discipline. We are working hard, hand in hand, with our technical partners to modernize and reactivate an updated fiscal responsibility framework to firmly anchor our debt reduction path over the medium term. Through comprehensive public expenditure reviews, enhanced tax compliance, and automated social protection delivery, we are ensuring that every dollar spent is transparent and effective.
The roundtable also featured a presentation on the country's medium-term development vision and priorities by Ambassador Kevin Hope, advising the Office of the Prime Minister. Tomorrow, participants will visit several priority projects, including the Georgetown Coastal Protection Project, the Overland Groundwater Project, and the London Bridge Rehabilitation Works, to provide first-hand insight into investments that support the country's development and resilience agenda. In other local news now, we heard that Prime Minister Dr. Godwin Friday and a high-level government delegation recently met with executives of Sandals resorts, reaffirming their commitment to working together to support the development of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. According to a release from the Office of the Prime Minister, discussions focus on future investment, tourism development, economic growth, capacity building, and community development. The release says Prime Minister Friday welcomed Sandals' continued investment in the country, noting its contribution to employment, tourism growth, increased airlift, foreign direct investment, and overall economic activity. He was also briefed on ongoing and planned projects, including the expansion of Sandals St. Vincent at Bookament Bay and the proposed beaches resort at Montwin. The release notes that current works at Bookament Bay include the construction of 22 Rondeval villas and 20 hillside sky suites, representing an investment of approximately US $45 million. Chief Administrative Officer of Sandals Resorts, Jordan Samuda expressed the company's enthusiasm about its future in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and thanked the government for its partnership and support. Prime Minister Friday said continued collaboration with Sandals will help create jobs, support local businesses, and contribute to sustainable economic growth. The Rendezvous Villas are expected to be completed by November 2026, while construction of Beaches St. Vincent is projected to begin in 2028. Together, the developments are expected to add nearly 400 rooms to the country's tourism sector and create hundreds of jobs. Comptroller of Customs and the Excise Department, Selwyn De Silva, says revenue collection increased in 2025 when compared with the previous year. De Silva made the announcement yesterday at the launch of the upgraded Asecudo system. According to the Comptroller, the Customs and Excise Department was responsible for collecting close to 50% of all tax revenue in 2025.
Customs revenue accounts for 10.9% of nominal GDP in 2024. In 2025, customs collection accounted for 48.8% of total revenue, total tax revenue for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That's almost 50%. And may I dare say that we exceeded our revenue mandate by $10 million for the fiscal year 2025.
De Silva said the department remains committed to improving revenue collection while ensuring that its services are delivered in an effective and efficient manner.
Customs matters because we develop and implement trade facilitation measures that improve efficiency. We collect trade data used in policy development. We guard against illicit and dangerous imports and export. In reality, customs is the main institution operating simultaneously at the intersection of trade, revenue, security, public health, and disaster response.
CDC announces finalists for 2026 Junior Calypso and Soca competitions, along with the Raga and Soca Monarch semi-finalists. This and other stories coming up when we return with more local news. Stay with us.
Welcome to Sister.
Welcome to the upgraded C-Star Limited,
where we offer to almost all your household items.
They've expanded their range to sofas, dining and patio sets, beds and mattresses, wardrobes, kitchen cabinets, office furniture. That's just a few from the luxurious collection. Not forgetting their signature quality windows, doors, rails, and bathroom enclosures. Journey on up to C-Star, where their friendly sales clerk is happy to assist. C-Star Limited, where quality meets style.
A funeral service should be one that you can be proud of. One that leaves lasting memories of your loved ones. And that's where you need the New Haven Funeral Home. We are proud of the quality and class we have brought to the industry. We are proud for having trained the very first certified embalmers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are proud of leading the way in terms of live streaming of funerals online so that your family members overseas could also be part of the celebration of life. We are constantly improving our services. We are driven by customer satisfaction, and we are proud of all that we do.
New Haven Funeral Home.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They're paying General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices, then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. SVG, because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
On Tuesday, June 9th, you can help realize your dreams with a lotto jackpot of $86,000. Your dream vacation, a university degree, that new ride, your new house can all suddenly be within your reach. What a little lotto can do. It's a lotto jackpot of $86,000. This Tuesday, June 9th. You have to be in it to win it.
Welcome back. In more local news now, we hear that the Carnival Development Corporation, the CDC, today announced the finalists for the 2026 Young Voices Big Vibes Junior Calypso and Soca competition, which will be held on Tuesday, June 30th at Victoria Park in Kingstown. In the Junior Calypso primary school category, the finalists are Samaya Maimai Hutchins of the Dorsetshire Hill Government School with Journey to Prosperity, Amina Lucas, also of the Dorsetshire Hill Government School with Good Role Models, Felicia Johnson of the Turma Government School with Dollars and Cents, and Singing Blessing Compton of the Calder Primary School with Pillars of Truth. The Junior Calypso Secondary School category finalists are Kerry McCall of the Sandy Bay Secondary School with Restore Calypso, Princess Lexi Deshong, also of the Sandy Bay Secondary School with I Cry, Amelia Glasgow of the St. Joseph Convent Kingston with Blessed Are the Peacemakers, Divine Walters of the St. Joseph Convent Kingston with Mr. AI, Divine Sky Hawkshaw of the St. Joseph Convent Kingston with Silent Cry, Jalicia Byron of the Sandy Bay Secondary School with Good Old Calypso, and Cassanique Williams of the Georgetown Secondary School with No Refugee. The Junior Soca Monarch finalists are Ketilia Singing Carty Nero of the Barley Anglican Primary with Can't Wait, Malik Temper John of the Sandy Bay Secondary School with Yellow Fever, Anika Calypso Flame Stapleton of the Evesham Methodist School with Together as One, Leline Singing Lily Bascom of the Thomas Saunders Secondary School with Earthquake, Alicia Alice in Socaland Brown of the Bishop College Kingston with Mashup, Jania Lavie of the Turma Government School with No Child's Play, and Demi the Diva Bruce of the Bishop College Kingston with Soca. The reserve finalist is Kyron Pablo Adams of the Sandy Bay Secondary School with Show Them. And Calypso Flame Stapleton is a defending monarch for the Junior Calypso Primary School category with Zion Lewis as a defending monarch for the Junior Calypso's Secondary School category. And the CDC today also announced the semi-finalists for the 2026 National Raga Soca and Soca Monarch competitions, two of the most anticipated events of Vinci Mars 2026, The Great Escape. The selected artists will compete in the Soca Monarch semi-finals on Sunday, June 14, 2026 from 2 p.m. at Bacchanal Bay, Arnesville Tarmac, where they will vie for a coveted place in the National Soca Monarch finals. The Raga Soca Monarch semi-finalists are Sean Andrews Nembled, Sean Beats, Hans John, Clayton Roach, and Elrico Hunt, Diamonds and Pixels, Tyreek Thomas, Diffusion, Delroy Fireman Hooper, Lee Jace Bullock, King Jace, Samuel Thomas, Stamina Smurf, Tequila Thomas Latchman, Tequila, Colville Lane, Shadyvale, Camille Stapleton, Carbon Jams, Rayon Primus, Madzat, Ozari Thomas, Ozari, Roshik Mason, Shanique Deshong, Shani D, Zachariah Darache, Roach, Princess Alexei Deshong, Lexi, Travis Lynch, Whitskid, Albertina Grant Morales, Giovanni Anthony Collis, Gio, and Custer Chapman, flanker. The Power Soca Monarch semi-finalists are Clayton Roach and Elrico Hunt, Dimes and Pixel, Shannon John, Kelly J, Lornette Ned, Fire Empress, Utoma Rose, Bongo Prime, Giovanni Anthony Collis, Gio, Kevin Shallow, Sicko, Rayon Primus, Madzat, Corey, Marte, Adol, Gregory Small, DJ 20, Princess Alexi Deshong, Lexi, Enrique Marshall, Sean Andrews Nimblet, Double R and Sean Beads, Darren Jamal Ross, Magical, Lee Jace Bullock, King Jace, Colin Marshall, Boxer Money, Garrett John, Gary Icon, Ozari Matthews Ozari, Shanika Deshong, Shandy D, Jasper Colson, Alexander Jasper, Travis Lynch Whitskid, JC Lewis and Ezra Edwards, and Mustafa Jackson Taffa. All selected artists are expected to attend a meeting at a CDC office tomorrow, Wednesday, June 10th at 4:30 p.m. That brings us to the end of our local news from the region. When we return, stay with us.
The Ever-Ready Funeral Home at French's is your friend in times of grief. With over 40 years' experience, they are prepared to take care of all your funeral arrangements. Embalming, lowering device service, grave mattresses, carpeting, vaults, tombs and wreaths. Arrangements for television obituaries. Cremation is available upon request. Ever-Ready Funeral Home offers the finest in caskets and coffins, local and imported. So, in your time of need, call Ever-Ready Funeral Home at any time. 456-1494. Ever-Ready Funeral Home, offering service above self.
Quality products, quality care, low prices, great customer service, all at QCare Pharmacy. QCare leads the way, providing all your pharmaceutical needs, a variety of personal care products, and so much more. Located on Halifax Street. Telephone number 451-2690. QCare Pharmacy, where the Q stands for quality.
Welcome back in our news from the region. We hear that from wars and trade disputes to rising fuel costs and climate disasters, global crises are sending economic shock waves across the Caribbean. Economists gathered at the Caribbean Development Bank's annual meeting in the Bahamas recently are warning that small island states like St. Lucia and other countries remain highly exposed to forces beyond their control and say urgent action is needed to build resilience before the next crisis hits. We hear more in this report.
Presenters highlighted the Caribbean's heavy dependence on imported food and fuel, noting that disruptions linked to international conflicts and the trade disputes can quickly translate into higher costs for businesses and consumers. Tourism-dependent economies, including St. Lucia, were identified as particularly vulnerable to rising freight charges, fuel costs, and external economic shocks.
Between 2020 and 2024, roughly 40%, between 35 and 40% of our imports were consumed by energy, really mineral fuels, and food. And particularly a study by the Food and Agricultural Organization showed that for the categories of food imports in the Caribbean, they're very price inelastic, which effectively means that we import similar amounts regardless of the price, and so if the price goes up, our import bill goes up and our cost of living goes up for people in the Caribbean. And the second one, in terms of the fuel imports, is exacerbated by the fact that the region is overwhelmingly dependent on fossil fuels in our energy mix.
The economists also pointed to long-standing structural challenges, including limited economic diversification, low productivity growth, high levels of informality, and the growing threat posed by climate-related disasters. They warned that Caribbean countries are among the most exposed in the world to severe weather events, with natural disasters capable of causing economic losses that exceed a country's annual output. At the same time, the presenters noted that changing global conditions could create opportunities for some countries, particularly commodity exporters, while emphasizing the need for careful planning and stronger economic buffers.
That's all news of the region. The international news is coming up next. Stay with us.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game. $302,000. That's the Super 6 jackpot for Tuesday, June 9th. it's $302,000.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way, Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Singer is a family store. We sell everything you need for your kitchen and more. Top brands and appliances.
TVs, fridges, cookers.
We make your life so easy.
Just come in and see us. A wide range of furniture.
Right here at Singer.
Affordable beds and mattresses.
Right here at Singer. Washing machines to make your laundry clean and fresh. Singer is a family store
that gives you the best hire purchase deals.
Right here at Singer.
We'll outfit your home.
Right here at Singer. The #1 family store.
It's us with Singer.
Welcome back on the international scene now. We hear that China's President Xi Jinping has begun a two-day visit to North Korea. He says he's willing to take the ties between the two nations to new heights during a meeting with Kim Jong-un. It's President Xi's first trip to Pyongyang since 2019. We hear more in this report.
A red carpet welcome with an honor guard for Chinese leader Xi Jinping. Kim Jong-un was there to greet him. The two sides often describe their relationship as one forged in blood, a reference to the Korean War in the 1950s. Yet in recent years, mistrust has strained those ties, especially after China initially supported sanctions against North Korea's nuclear weapons program. Pyongyang state media dubbed Beijing a turncoat and enemy as a result. China is now trying to reassert its influence over a strategically important partner, which has increasingly turned to Russia for oil and aid in return for North Korean soldiers and weapons.
I'm very pleased to visit the beautiful city of Pyongyang once again after 7 years. I feel especially warm and familiar. I'm ready to work with you, General Secretary, to take this visit as an opportunity to strengthen top-level planning and strategic guidance in the new era, keep bilateral relations advancing with the times, and achieve greater progress in bilateral ties, so as to better benefit the two countries and peoples, and make positive contributions to peace, stability, development, and prosperity in the region and the world.
General Secretary Xi, your choice of Pyongyang for the first overseas trip this year fully reflects the great importance you attach to Democratic People's Republic of Korea-China relations and the profound friendship between the two countries, which is a tremendous encouragement to our side. It shows the world that no matter how the international situation may evolve, our country's time-tested relations remain unbreakable.
Kim Jong-un knows he cannot afford to alienate China, North Korea's biggest trading partner and source of aid, especially if a peace deal emerges in the Ukraine war, which could undermine ties between Pyongyang and Moscow.
That's the news. Sport is just ahead, but before that, let's take a look at the local weather forecast.
The weather report sponsored by General Hardware.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincennes for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
The present conditions: partly cloudy, winds northeast at 15 kilometers per hour. Temperatures 27.8 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 78%. Barometric pressure is 1015.8 millibars. 24-hour rainfall nil. Today's maximum temperature is 30.5 degrees Celsius. Today's minimum temperature is 25.5 degrees Celsius. Sunrise at 5:37 a.m. Sunset at 6:31 p.m. The forecast, it is occasionally cloudy and slightly hazy with few showers. The synopsis, a tropical wave will be crossing the islands.
The weather report was sponsored by General Hardware.
On Tuesday, June 9th, you can help realize your dreams with a lotto jackpot of $86,000. Your dream vacation, a university degree, that new ride, your new house can all suddenly be within your reach. What a little lotto can do. It's a lotto jackpot of $86,000. This Tuesday, June 9th. You have to be in it to win it.
Good evening and welcome to the Evening Sports. I'm Triska Campbell. We heard that Victor Wembanyama scored 32 points as the San Antonio Spurs cut the New York Knicks' lead in the NBA Finals to 2-1 with a 115-111 win at Madison Square Garden. U.S. President Donald Trump, in the crowd as the iconic venue hosted its first finals game since 1999, was booed when he was shown on the big screen during the national anthem. He is the first sitting president to attend the championship series. Defeat ended a 13-game winning streak for the Knicks as they chased their first championship since 1973. The best-of-7 series continues at the same venue on Wednesday before the teams return to San Antonio for Game 5 on Saturday. There were wins for Country Meets Town, Out of Trouble, AIA Reload, and Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines All-Stars last weekend in the National Lotteries Authority Top Pillar Progressive Organization TBPO 2020 Softball Cricket Championship at the Daphne Playing Field. Country Meets Town, Out of Trouble, defeated Greg's Young Stars by 63 runs. The scores: Country Meets Town, Out of Trouble, 187 for 4 in 20 overs, and Greg Young Stars, 124 off 20 overs. AIA Reload gained a 4-wicket win over Older Boys. The scores: Older Boys, 82 for 7 off 20 overs, and AIA Reload, 84 for 6 off just 8.2 overs. The Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines All-Stars hammered Fairbairn United Old Prank by a massive 284 runs. The scores: Bank of SVG All-Stars 337 for 5 off their 20 overs, while Fairbairn United Old Frank were bundled out for 53 in just 13 overs. The other two scheduled matches between Sandals Tallowers and Fairbairn United was rescheduled because of a wet pitch and would be replayed at a later date. RS Productions Combat Warriors won by default when their opponents, the Neck Power Stars, failed to show up for their match. Over netball, Bargain Auto Police Youth Club Rising Stars 2 defeated Sandhill Team 3 36 goals to 18 yesterday afternoon in the Vitamalt Youth Development Division of the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines National Netball Championships being staged at the New Montrose Netball Centre in Kingstown. In Division 3, Exceed Sports Club 3 edged Sandhill 2 23 goals to 22. And in some tennis news now, Alexander Zverev has finally secured his maiden Grand Slam title with a dramatic 5-set victory over Italy's Flavio Coballi in the French Open final on Sunday. The second-seeded became the first German man to win a major tournament since Boris Becker at the 1996 Australian Open. He secured a 6-1, 4-6, 6-4, 6-7, 5-7, 6-1 victory after 4 hours and 16 minutes. It was Zverev's fourth Grand Slam final and second at Roland Garros after some heartbreaking near misses in his career. That's how we end sports this evening. I'm Triska Campbell. We'll be right back to wrap things up.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
$302,000. That's the Super 6 jackpot for Tuesday, June 9th. It's $302,000.
More jackpot money, More reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices, then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Welcome back. Now for a second look at the headlines. Prime Minister Friday calls for stronger partnerships to advance national priorities and build resilience at Development Partner Roundtable. Economists warn global crises leave small Caribbean islands dangerously exposed. China's president visits North Korea on rare state visit to boost ties with Kim Jong-un. And in sports, Wimbayama Stars Spurs trim Knicks finals lead with a 115-111 win in the NBA last night at Madison Square Garden. Now for a recap of the local weather forecast. Occasionally cloudy and slightly hazy with few showers. On behalf of all of us here at SVG-TV, thanks for viewing. I am Rochelle Baptiste, inviting you to visit our Facebook page for a recap of the news and daily headlines. Also, check out SVG-TV News in 15 weekdays at 12:45 p.m. Again, thanks for viewing and enjoy the rest of the evening.